Thank you, everyone. Happy to have you all here. So I guess Omer spent a lot of time on the stage. And I just found out, actually, you can speak Chinese. So we're going to switch the channel for this panel.
No way. I won't be able to do it. It's too much.
All right, just kidding.
压力太多.
So actually, you can handle it. All right. So let's get the ball started by quick intro of all of you, each of you, to say your name, your company that you are representing here. 30 seconds. Let's start from you.
Hi, my name is Yi, and I'm managing the CSOP ETF investment team. And CSOP is the largest ETF issuer in Hong Kong. And probably some of you guys know we launched the Bitcoin future and the Ethereum future ETF in Hong Kong, firstly in 2022 December. And until now, I think several of our products become top 10 traded ETF products within Hong Kong right now. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Omer?
My name is Omer Ozden. I'm the founder of Rocktree Capital, one of the co-hosts of this event. And I think there's two things that Rocktree does really well. We're an early stage crypto investor. One is that we really focus on founders, and a few of us have been trained by the best trainers in the United States for behavioral neuroscience. So we're not just using instinct, but actually scientific tools in psychology to be able to assess founders. And this is a really important point for our theme. We learned this from Gen Fund in China, which I could talk about more later. And the second thing is we're local in the East and we're local in the West. And so we find really good founders in the East and we help them scale in the West, 国际化. And we find really good founders in the West, early stage, and we help them scale in the East, internationalization. That's one of our strong suits. Thank you.
Thank you. Gavin?
Thanks. I think we share lots of things in common with Omer. So SNZ Capital, the history is like, as lots of DJ and OG knows, we helped Vitalik translate his white paper together with the founder of Waterdrip, and helped to build the earliest community of Ethereum since 2014, like domestic China, like the offline community, and online community and offline community. Quite focusing on founders and do incubation, then do investment. We have been in the industry for more than 10 years. We've got more than 200 portfolios. And we very focus on which we call like connect to empower. We see too many gaps between East and West, between Web 2 and Web 3, between financial institutions and crypto degens. So we're trying to be engaging investors to help bridge the gaps. So I came from UBS background and have been doing then moved to Block One, then SNZ. I'm now CIO of SNZ. Good to meet all of you. Thanks.
Thank you. BMAN.
Hi, everyone. I'm BMAN, co-founder of ABCDE Capital. So ABCDE Capital is a 400 million fund based in Singapore and Hong Kong. We have been in crypto for a decade, and we are the co-founder of Huobi, and all our partners are entrepreneurs. So we have built multi-billion dollars company in crypto. So we are co-founder of Huobi, ChainUp, Sinohope, CoinTime, BeWater. So we are a huge ecosystem in Asia. And our thesis is to be the entrepreneur or behind the entrepreneurs, because we are entrepreneurs ourselves. So we know how to help entrepreneurs. And yeah, so our focus right now is invest in infrastructure projects, because all our investment team are tech backgrounds. So we have contributed to a lot of open source projects and big ecosystem projects. Thank you.
Yeah, Yiming.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Yiming from JDI. So we're not only just an investment company, so we also make hardware for deeping project. We focus more on deeping. So we started to invest deeping from like 5 years ago. the Helium, Demo, and the Grass. IO is our portfolio, and we also love Mimi. So I think that's the future of the young generation, and I think it's a good signal for the young generations to experiment themselves. So, and also gaming. So I think a lot of great things happen in Web3. Happy to hear and happy to communicate with all the guests. And if anyone wants to build in Deepin area, you can contact me later. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yiming. All right, so every one of you actually touched a little bit about the sector that you are focused on right now and what you might take a look. Let's say the founders that is the factor that you're gonna evaluate the most, maybe in the first stage, right? So let's start from Wang again. You're literally just sitting right next to me. So from the current investment trends, let's say the BTC layer 2, the Deepin, the AI, memes, et cetera, so what do you think is the next investment trends in your opinion?
Yeah, just purely from my experience, I think AI is definitely proved itself, at least for the early stage, especially from US side. So we have seen a lot of chip makers rallying the revenue. So basically a lot of people rush into like this kind of computations. So in terms of applications, I think we are looking at like ChatGPT and Sora, these kind of things. But still, it's a very early stage. But it's definitely much better than what we have seen, like compared with Metaverse or VR, AR before. So generally now, we see more and more implementations, no matter from the real companies, like S&P 40% or 50% of companies claim that they have the AI project to be implemented. So I think that's definitely going to be a big trend, or is a very important factor for this year. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
AI. Okay, Omer.
So as I stated earlier, we're really into founders and the behavioral neuroscience, their psychology. So one thing that we look at deeply is that the team, the founders, need to be truly crypto native. We don't invest into projects where it's Web 2 guys now coming into Web 3 for the first time, because it's totally different industries. So in AI, we had a project up here that was one of our portfolio companies, Covalent. They're crypto native, but a lot of the projects we saw actually come from Web 2 and non-Web 3, and we took a pass on them because guess what? Web 3 is a totally different animal and much more difficult, and when the bear market hits, we don't need you to be crying on our shoulder like of this. So we need crypto native. So that's important. You mentioned Bitcoin ecosystem. I think that because of our roots in Asia, we were earlier to that. I think that that's going to just get bigger and bigger. It's already exploded in the East, but American VCs are only starting to wake up to this in the past 90 days, and only some of them. But there might be eventually a convergence between the two, because crypto VCs move fast, crypto projects move fast. So just like we had DeFi summer in 2020, DeFi became a thing in the United States and the West around late 2019 and early 2020, but it really only came to the East and got it really popular around the springtime. And when both markets, East and West, converged, we eventually had crypto summer in August of 2020. So I think actually around September, October, there's going to be a convergence of both East and West, seeing this entire new ecosystem developing, which is Bitcoin based.
Thanks. So for us, like we internally we divided into three sectors, right? First one is the infrastructure and the middleware, which is has been our focus since like 10 years ago. And then the second one is the application and content. The last one is a financial related, both DeFi and CeFi. We do both equity and token. Specific to the several sectors that host moderator mentions, like for example, right, Bitcoin layer 2. like we are the first Asian investor into Blockstack back to 2018 when they were doing the STO. Like we were the backer for CKB Nervous since 2017 in the angel round. Recently, BMAN, we have just co-led the UTXO stack. It's like a project incubated by Cell Studio, like under the, but that to some extent related to Bitcoin layer 2, but actually that's a UTXO POW public chain. So we're looking at more from the fundamental infra perspective instead of a kind of a short-term narrative perspective, right? So for deepings, we are like generally positive, but like we are more looking at the fundamental business, whether the business makes sense, whether the math could add up, right? So for example, recently we invested in IOTax, right? I think IOTax is a very good public chain since early 2017, has gone through cycles, has built very good communities and pick up the business. So long story in short, for us, like the key thing is whether the fundamental tech makes sense, whether the business makes sense, whether there are really progressive developments there, right? So the other example is like, Omer just mentioned the DeFi Summer in 2020. Like we invested in Chainlink before DeFi Summer. Like we helped them to do lots of Asian collaboration, etc. As most of the kind of blockchain community knows. When, in terms of business ecosystem building, get access to developer community, DeFi community, etc. Even get access to financial institutions. So we're thinking a very long run, and I think we think in a long time the FDV or market cap is driven by the fundamental business development. Thanks.
Our focus right now is more on infrastructures. For example, we put our 1/3 of capital in Bitcoin ecosystem. So since last year, we have been supporting Merlin. We are the biggest investor. Babylon, like BitLayer, Unisat, and UTXO Stack. Most of these projects we are lead investor because we have been in crypto for a decade. So when I still university student, I bought my first Bitcoin, and Bitcoin changed my life. And I think it's time for us to build on Bitcoin so that we can change more people's lives. So I think Bitcoin's ecosystem is going to be huge. And this year, 2024, is actually a year of Bitcoin. So we witness a Bitcoin ETF, and it's soon the Bitcoin halving is coming. So we can see more and more builders, especially in Asia, are coming into Bitcoin ecosystem. And what is next is about we also looking at some missing part in the most important infrastructures in Ethereum. And I had a dinner with Vitalik the day before yesterday, and I talked with Vitalik what is missing in Ethereum, and he said maybe parallel EVM. So we invest in Mega ETH, and he's still thinking about ZK and hardware accelerations. So we also invest in SciSec. So yeah, we are a big fan of the missing piece of the infrastructures in the most important ecosystem in crypto, because ABC is actually a big ecosystem. So we will bring ecosystem and strategic support to all the big ecosystem projects. And if anybody are building some important infrastructures in the markets, just let me know. I would love to help. And we can connect you guys to all the connections and resources in Asia. Thank you.
Thank you, BMAN. So infrastructure, BTC, ecosystem. Now, Yiming, you can share more.
Yeah, I think what the four guys talking about is true. Yeah, they are talking very good. I think this bull market is everything will be great. Yeah, it's like a tremendous bull market, not only in DeFi, not only in Bitcoin, not only in public chain like Solana and modular. Everything will be great. Yeah, even meme coins also. I think this bull market, I think, is the biggest one from Bitcoin. From Bitcoin is created. Yeah, so I think this bull market, everything you buy will go up. So don't think too much. Just do it. Like our name, GDI, right? Don't think too much. Just do it. It's everything you buy. If that even, yeah, don't think too much. Just all in. Yeah, this market. Every track will be great. And I think the Bitcoin bull market will till to the 2028 even. So, but DP and the meme is more way focused. Yeah, and yesterday we hold a DP summit here, and in the future we will hold more DP events around the world. We have a DP tour, world tour. So happy more people can come in. And there's one more. This is in our fund. So we will find great project in one track. But if we cannot find a good one, we will make it by ourselves, right? Just do it. So yeah, we also make project by ourselves. If we don't find the perfect one, we only invest the perfect one and all in. If we don't find it, we will make it. Yeah, so we don't wait anything to happen. If we see a trade, we will make it happen. Yeah, owning big bet and all in. Yeah, is our style. Yeah, thank you very much.
So I just wanted to add one theme also. Like, we invest into infrastructure, and something that's really emerged over recently is modularity, and that's something. We're working with a project called Eclipse. We invested into it, and some of you guys we may have also introduced you to. So this is an area you guys should be looking at too. Obviously, modularity is a big theme coming up.
All right.
Yeah, I think so. I think modular is the third.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And actually, Yiming, you are pointing out that in the bull run, especially as the investor or VC over analysis or over concern actually is not a advantage, right? In the process.
Yeah, it's a good advantage. It's a good advantage of this market, the biggest one. So we should prepare and exercise every day to enjoy,
Get ready.
right?
Yeah,
enjoy the
get
market.
ready.
Enjoy the market.
All right. So let's go to the next question. As basically as a investor, a VC, what would be the criteria for you guys to source the deals, and also what do you think that the how do you separate the potential or the promising startups like from the rest? Wang Yi?
Probably I'm gonna skip this one. Yeah, because we are focusing on the secondary market,
Okay.
not quite on the VC and the PE side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Omer, maybe you can go.
Yeah, so we invest in a very international way, but ultimately we're Chinese in our way because 喝酒吃饭 is very important for our business method and investment. So we need to sit down with the founders and meet them face to face. We need to drink, we need to eat, we need to, because it's very important for our thesis. So some American VCs, they can just do something by Zoom or by email. We can't do that. So it's really important for us to get personal with the founders. And so that's a very important part of our investment. Also, what we look at for some of our investments is, again, the psychology. A lot of founders, they focus only on the tech. And when they hire guys, they hire people like themselves, which is a big mistake. It's kind of like when a man and a woman get married and they're cousins, okay, they come from the same family, their children are gonna have some problems. So if you hire people like you that are focused on product, 非常保守, very conservative, something like that, you don't have a good organization. We're looking for making sure, first of all, the product is super important, but hey, you don't have a really strong growth person, somebody who really understands capital markets, somebody who also moves fast, just like my friend at the end, like, don't think too much. like just do. You need guys like that on your team too. So I see a lot of projects where they're just focused on product, they're moving really slow, but you need the guys who are like, let's go all in and let's move fast as well. So we look for a wide cross-section in the team. That's really important for us.
Diversification.
Yeah, we have, because we are actually kind of old school VC, but like specifically in crypto, digital blockchain space, right? So we have a very firm like ideas what we are looking for, where we're not looking to invest. In Chinese, we call we are looking for teams 长期坚持做难且正确的大事的团队，长期难正确大。Basically, in China, it's like we are looking for visionary builders with long-term commitment to like difficult, big things of right value. The idea is like, well, to give you an example, right? Recently, people say, hey, CKB Nervous is quite a hit, right? It's like, in past a few days, like it's already doubled like during the Web3 festival. But we have been investing, like supporting the team since 2016, even before these established this company, right? The previous company is a crypto ape, right? Then it's divided into Nervous, and the other one is Theta. So, yeah, it's like, it's like Rome is not built in one day, right? So this is really important for us. And we have some red lines. Some companies we are not, projects we cannot invest. First of all, is like we are not investing in those kind of legally, like reputationally, morally, it's very risky for us. Like you can do a pawn NFT or whatever. That's not our cup of tea. Gambling, pure gambling, etc. We can barely do that, right? Secondly, we don't do. Well, it's not no offense, but we don't do pure narrative, murmur, mimi, whatever. That's a little bit too because of the mandate. It's not. It's more because of the mandate issues. Right? We like some of the LPs are like real, very established Web2 companies, etc. Actually, we are trying to the entire vision for the fund is to get blockchain the massive adoption, right? So we really want to find solid business. That's why we don't do narratives purely. Yeah, that's pretty much for our general standards. But if we can go into the detailed screening criteria, we have very detailed scoring board. I don't want to bore all of you here, but if you want to know more details, feel free to come to me, either your entrepreneurs or other peer funds. Thanks so much.
Okay, Gavin. So 长期坚持做难的
难且正确的大事。
Okay, I have a amazing project to recommend right after this panel. Okay.
It's like tech news. For sure, we are interested.
That's one of them. All right. Next comes to BMAN.
Yes. So there's a principle in ABCDE. So our principle is to invest in either the only one or the number one. So, in crypto, we need to find the player that can define a category or, is the winner of the category. Because if a player is the winner or the category definer, he will capture 80% of the value. So, for example, Merlin is the number one in TVL in all the Bitcoin layer 2s. And Babylon is the number one and only one Bitcoin staking projects. And like Matrix Fire is the number one shooting game in Web3. And like, UTXO Stack is the only one roll-up as a service projects in UTXO and RGB. So that is our thesis. We will find the winner of every category and we make a heavy bet in them, and we will fully support them to be the winner or define a category. If you think that you can win in a category, came to ABCD, we can give you full support. Thank you.
Hello. So I think for me, projects is more like a kid, right? It has a lot of character. So I think we always want to work with people who can make us comfortable, right? So I think we cannot give money who when we talk to him is not comfortable, right? So our GDS is follow our heart. Yeah. So follow the trade, follow our heart, and just do it. Just do it. Yeah. Don't think too much. Yeah.
All right, JDI really has a very free spirit and soul. All right.
Yeah.
So I think the organizer just told me that we have very limited time left. So let's wrap up with the last question. I mean, you guys mostly from the TradFi and the old money. So compared to the Web 2 or the traditional investment, how can you manage the risks, given that the complexity and the difficulty of risk management is actually leveling up? So do you want to start, or you're going to skip and pass to Omer again?
I think I'm going to mention something. So a lot of people very key in Hong Kong right now is physical ETF. On that sense, we see very popular US one, but even though we have very successful current future-based one, I think it's a 1 billion in size, but compared with current management, we are managing like 100 billion Hong Kong D right now. That's a tiny little bit for me. So it's being very attractive, but for the physical one, I think Hong Kong and the US are completely different. Not only because of the risk they are managing, but around the actual investor channel. So the channel is very important. That's a traditional finance like burden, like banks, brokerage, they can't buy that. But US is a completely different. So we need to understand that there's a new money inflow in. We occupy US, then US is representing huge amount, like multiple billion USD inflowed in. So that's the reason why we have a very bull market right now. In terms of risk management, I think, yeah, for VC and PE investment, I will leave the expertise to give more comments. Yeah, I will want to share my last point here. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So for us, it's the people that you deal with. We make sure that we deal with people we know or people can validate them, whether it's in New York or Silicon Valley or Hangzhou or Europe. And so, like, for example, friends here, SNZ we've known for a long time. ABCDE, I know Dujin, and obviously Lilin was an investor in us early. These are people, we have the similar, even if we don't know each other directly, we know the same people. And it's the same with due diligence on projects and so forth. And the way it works is if you fuck me, you fuck all of our friends. So that's the biggest risk mitigation. It's the people that you deal with.
Yeah, I think definitely nailed it. It's like, in addition, just add a couple of small points, right? So you will facing lots of different kinds of risks. For us, like the top is for sure, as Omer mentioned, it's like the reputational risk is also the biggest for yourself as well, right? If you just kind of pump and dump, like you would just kill your name as well. For the others, like top ones, like for sure legal risk, right? So because I used to work for UBS for nearly 8 years, I listed most of the Chinese fintech company, went through the entire fintech ups and downs, right? I came from finance and law background, so especially we are in a relatively little bit sensitive industry. So this is really important for you, for the fund, even for your portfolios, right? The others is more like operational risks. There's tons of this because, that's why, within our investment focus, we have something called financial related. We did an equity investing into some TradFi company as well, because we see if we're bridging traditional institutional money into the industry, still tons of the infra in that sense are still missing. So they are still facing lots of operational risk, right? Yeah, Nicole, just like the moderator, she said like even she said herself got like hacked by twice. So how about like Fidelity, BlackRock? Can they dare to move into the space without like enough like understanding about the operational risk? So that's important. But as a fund, I think the key mitigants is the portfolio allocation. Right? But if you one word or one sentence you would like to remember out of the meeting, I think the key is like the risk of missing the beta. but never like just dump all your position. Then you probably will be missing the beta. Then you have a certain basic beta. Then you try to build up on that and to get additional alpha. So that's my tips. Thanks.
To ABCDs, to understand risk is actually the most important thing is to understand cycle. So ABC has been in crypto for 11 years, so we know the pattern of the cycle. So we know we are in the middle of bull markets, so the risk get higher and higher, so that we can control our allocation and exposure of risk. So we have a lot of advice to our portfolio that you need to prepare for the peak of the bull market. You need to get ready and have 3 years runway to prepare if the bear market comes. So the only advice and the most important advice to everybody is that to understand cycle. Thanks.
Yeah, and for me, I think because my investment is different, all our money is still fund, so we can do more risk high investment. So and I'm also post 1995, so I love meme coins. I got 1x in last 100x in last 2 cycles. Yeah, so my philosophy is before Bitcoin hit 1 million, always all in. Yeah. So.
All right. I think time's up, and thank you, every gentleman here, to share your insights. And also, this is Yolanda from PANews. We also offer like 1 free PR promotion if you come to me with a good project. Thank you, guys.